Hey everybody, my name is Robin Hostick, and I decided to record this little demonstration for everybody today just to give you a really direct and kind of a personal sense of what this technique is like that I developed a while back, and I call it dynamic patternism. And basically, this is a technique using digital media, as you can see here. And it's very simple. And the reason I think that a demonstration is important is because, especially with digital media, it's really easy, I think, for people who may not be familiar with it to think that it's something automatic, that somehow the computer takes over or has some sort of an algorithm and does the work, or does something, in particular with the work that's not direct from the artist. And while it is very true that digital media is incredibly powerful, it's a wonderful, wonderful tool, there is so much artistry that goes into it. And this, for example, the tool that I'm using here the software is called Procreate. It's an application that I'm running on an iPad, Mac iPad Pro, and the software has so many different tools and options that are available. What I'm using is probably among the most simple of the tools. It's just blending, basically. And to start out with, this technique, the dynamic patternism, basically starts out with a painting, an original painting that I create, either an oil painting, or in this case it happens to be an acrylic painting. And I import that painting, just take a digital photograph and import it into the tool, into Procreate, and simply begin using a blending tool to modify and push around color. So areas of color in the original painting, I make choices about how to blend that color and turn it into sort of a unified mass, push the color around, blend it with the neighboring colors. A lot of decision making goes into this, and it's it's interesting because it's like a puzzle in a lot of ways. It's very meditative, but there's also a lot of thinking involved. And the goal really is to painstakingly push and pull the colors into shapes and to blend them seamlessly with the colors and the shapes that are next to them. And the end result is that the eye really flows seamlessly across these shapes. In fact, as I'm working on this, or as I was working on this one, the mantra kept going through my head of 1,000 beautiful shapes. So essentially, I'm creating 1,000 beautiful shapes in this image that blend seamlessly together. And it does something really special. There's, when you look at it and observe these images, and this one, you can see in the final image, or you can also check it out on the website, is recognizable as a place. And of course, when you're zoomed into this level, you don't really see any of that. And so you're working in kind of a microcosm of abstraction. And at the macro scale, it just snaps together. And it's a really clear representation of a place. It's recognizable. But of course, at this scale, it's an abstraction. And so it's that unique blend of abstraction and sort of the recognizability of a real place, which as a landscape painter is something I enjoy doing. I do mainly paint landscapes, and one of my goals as an artist is to really convey the dynamic nature of a real place. When you're in the outdoors, there's so much going on. It's just this feast for the senses. There's wind, and there's color, and there's light, and there's mood, and there's all kinds of things happening. And to convey that in an art form is a real challenge. I think photography can convey some elements of the landscape. One of the reasons that I paint and create art specifically is because I think it can actually convey even more. There's something that kind of gets imbued into the work that is a reflection of the experience of a place. And this technique is an extension of that. It's something that I kind of discovered and developed more or less accidentally, just kind of playing with shapes and playing with colors to see what happened, with this idea of having, seamless transitions. Some people describe it as kind of psychedelic. Some people describe it as just being very relaxing. The interesting thing is the eye always has some place to go. You look at the image, and one shape and one color pattern naturally conveys your eye into another one. So from that sense, it's also very dynamic, and it kind of gives you a little bit of expression of the dynamism of nature. So this particular work is, well, you'll see the finished product at the end. This particular work took about 18 hours to complete. And it seems like kind of a long time, but when I'm working on it, the time just goes so quickly. And I feel like sometimes it's even hard to pull myself away. I realize I will have been working on this for hours. It's because it's like a puzzle, right? It's, your brain wants to keep solving the puzzle at the edges where it's unresolved. And there's something about it that's just very meditative and very satisfying. So 18 hours in this particular work. The program actually counts up the number of strokes of the stylus. And this particular piece is about 120,000 individual strokes of the stylus. And you can see that it takes a lot of them to kind of push and pull that color around and blend it in such a way that there are no defects or artifacts that don't follow the rules, whatever those are, for how these shapes blend together. And yeah, you can kind of get a sense for the image right there. Again, the final image, this one and some other paintings that I've done using this technique are available on my website at robinhostickart.com under the digital art section under prints, and you can order prints of these in 2 different sizes. Super easy to do. You can just order direct online. I'll ship it right out to you. You can also order framed prints. I think for most of them I have a couple of framed options available too. So yeah, you can watch as long as you like. It's almost as meditative to watch, it seems, as it is to do. So enjoy, and I hope you enjoy the rest of it, and thanks a lot for watching.